Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel. Celestial Farm Girl here. So happy to be here with you today. Sometimes it's just I have to talk myself into coming in. You would not believe how many fears one would have in coming in here and, speaking the word of God, making sure that what I say is justified and logical and comprehensible and loving and kind to show the truth that God is as I am channeling through. And so I just want you guys to know I love y'all. And this is a reading for the Divine Feminines today. And it is really a humdinger if it goes the way that I got the channel down. So I'm not sure. So before we do the reading, of course, we're going to do an archetype. And I just want to tell you guys thank you for your likes, shares, subscribes, the time you spend here. Sharing with me these beautiful essences and energies that God shows that are possible, whether through me or helps me to channel them to where other people can understand through them. It doesn't matter. As long as we're raising our vibration, we're raising the vibration of the planet, Mother Gaia, Mother, Father, of creation. And it's always about love, just love. Love, it is said that love is stronger than death. I've read that. I read it in the Bible, actually, and I read it in other places as well. So we love, and our first love for Creator and self, because we are both one and the same. The creator of creations imagined us as itself. And so here we are, right? And we want to make sure that we love ourselves, treat ourselves with dignity and love and peace, and to bring peace and love into our life, because when that true nature is lit up, it shines out through the world. And sometimes it takes going through the darkness to ignite the power of the light. Even a star before it's born resides in a cloud of darkness, just like a child before it's born resides in its mother's stomach in the darkness. We're all not so much different. We just take on different forms with different energies, sometimes the same energy maybe. Okay, so we're going to draw from the deck, and we're looking for the archetype of what in the world is going on today. Here, we're going to go here. Okay, I love you guys. The moon is going through Taurus. The sun is in Gemini. The mask. I've never pulled this before. The mask. The mask. Okay, Divine Feminines, let us see what this mask has got to say. For one thing, we know it could be revealing of ourselves, but masks can also be where we hide parts of ourselves. So I'm sure there's a duality in it, because there always is, right? There's the light and the dark. Yes, it is 61-7, very spiritual. I don't very often wear a mask. I say what I got to say on my mind and heart, and that way I never have to worry about what's in my head. Does that make sense? 60, 71? It's 50, 61. 61. Yeah, I don't like having stuff in my head. I really don't. I don't want to be thinking about stuff a lot. I'm more of a intuitional kind of person. I run off intuition and instinct when the ideal comes up, such as for me to do the reading. That's when I get moving and get ready to do the reading, because before that, it's almost like it's not time yet. So let's see what's going on here. The mask, the persona, the performer. The reveal. We often think of a mask as something that conceals our identity, yet contemplate the possibility that the mask permits our true identity to be revealed. It allows. The mask gives voice to that which was previously rejected when this card appears. An act the side of you that is seeking expression, yet was never given a role to play on the stage of your life. Your life, not somebody else's life, but your life. You know, creating in your life what you love, what benefits you, what serves you, what makes you happy, what makes you feel loved, what makes you feel like you love yourself because you're doing good things for yourself, because you know the more good things you do for yourself and invest your energy in yourself, the better you're going to be, right? And so we don't give our energy out to like media. We don't give our energy to other people who have won acclaims. We give our energy to ourselves so that we can begin to write our own story and maybe be one of those people out in the media, or to be somebody that writes our own story and leaves it for posterity. You know, it's if we invest in other people's life and their greatness, you'll never know who you are in your life and your greatness. And that's what this is saying. You are in the realm of the Ader, so anything is possible. Speak with the other's voice, embody the other's limbs. You are taking part in the ritual of expanding the self. There may be mischief and deception around, and others may be trying on new masks too. No one is sure who is who. It's likely you've become so attached to a single mask that you need to fall face forward into this perception. Bending time, trust it. When light reveals what has been suppressed, when dark further conceals what is rejected. Okay, when light. All right, now I wanted to talk about love today, and in a way, I can see that this mask has a lot to do with it, because when we love, if we've never been hurt like a child, we love freely. But as time passes and love becomes a part of our life, we put on a little bit of a mask, kind of a jaded mask, right? And this coldness, this outlook, and I'm talking to mature women at this time, those of us who've been married once or twice or whatever, and, found that things didn't work out the way we had dreamed or wished. And, is at that moment we realize, right, that the fairy tale does not always come true. And it seems like even the women behind us do the same thing. We can see in our family as we look down, this happens here and there. But yet we really don't know what to do about it, do we? We don't understand why these things have happened to us. And that's the hard part right there. So we're going to roll the dice now and see what's going on in the dice. And the moon is in Taurus, the sun is in Gemini. My puppies are a week and 2 days old, and they have names. The little girl's name is Aura. Aura. That's hard for me to say, Aura. And the little boy's name is Juan, because he came out first. And so they are fat and happy, and this afternoon I'm going to make a video of them. I put them on my bed, but they terrify me. They crawl all over the place. I'm afraid they're going to fall. So they just have to stay in there on the floor until I guess maybe I'm going to have to put my mattress on the floor. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Today is Tuesday, June the 4th. And yes, we are in Taurus. And the moon is in Taurus and the sun is in Gemini. And what is this telling us? So we've got the youthful twins and seriousness of Taurus, who is making sure that she has all her material needs, or he has all his material needs. But I also know that each and every one has a spiritual aspect to it. So spiritual needs are really more important than material needs, because when you have your confidence, when you have your ego in the right disposition, when your mind is firing and your energy is up, you can create anything and you can bring money in. You can do things other than, the 9 to 5 daily work. You just find niches. Look for your niche. We all got a niche. And so, this helps one to have a bit more relaxed home life. You kind of come on your own time because you know exactly what you're doing, and it makes it easier. And I would like to see this kind of life for everybody. I think that this is the only way that we should live life, that Mother Earth is our hostess with the mostest, and that it is no problem for her to give the resources in order for us to have resources. There's only one thing in between her resources to us, and that is fake people who have said they owned everything, even though our ancestors built it, which would mean that, it's a half and half deal. It's ours as much as theirs, especially if we went back and added up the price tag, right? Right. Now that's love of self. See, I love myself enough to know that it is righteous, that the Mother Earth is abundant. I am so connected with Mother Earth that she tells me these things to give these messages to you. But I had to learn to love myself and value myself in order for me to realize that yes, in the history of this world being created, the rich organized things. The rich were able to come up with enough money in order to pay people or guns. We started off as slaves anyway. All of us. None of us escaped that. Okay, here I am. I'm getting into a whole nother reading. But my mask just fell off. Or I either put on that other mask that I wear sometimes, which is I want to see everybody. I want to see everybody be able to have the time to think and sort their lives out and find out what they love, and to learn to love themselves, because they can get a chance to observe who they are, in their quiet time. I wish that for us all. And I fight for it in the spirit world. I demand it. We got Libra, balance, the moon in Libra, feelings of justice. That's so funny. The moon in Libra, and 10, which is the beginning, right? 10 is 0, 1, or 1, 0, which is the end of a situation and the start of another. And so, yeah, my feelings right now, I guess, what can I say? Maybe they just fell on my hand like that. We've got Libra, the moon, and 10. So, feelings of justice and, the end of one situation or one world or one dimension, one era that we're coming out of Pisces and moving into Aquarius, where we are at a place where we are thinking higher And this golden age was promised from like 25,000 years ago to us. And we have to realize that we're worthy of it and we're ready for it and stand up for it, right? Oh, here, let me shake these up. I just stuck my hand in there, which probably would make no difference because I shake it 2 or 3 times a day anyway. Shake my bag. I love you guys. Feeling a little silly. Bring out the best in me. I just want you to know that you bring out the best in me. You bring out my lightheartedness. See that green? Beautiful green. Yeah. You bring out my lightheartedness. I want to be lighthearted for you guys. Look at here, the moon. She got wings, her feelings. Yeah, she does. She sails through all those constellations up there. And, sailing through all those constellations, she reflects down upon us all these feelings, these emotions that we have. And we always want to ride the wave, right? Jesus walked on water. He walked on water. What that meant is he kept his emotions in check. He could always be happy because he didn't allow other things in the world to stir him up. Oh, there's a bow. I got a bow. See, I got a bow. What does a bow mean? Either you win a prize or you're beautiful. Somebody out there is beautiful, youthful, loving life, regardless of what comes. Regardless of what comes. Because, ultimately when we look around, and most of us probably have about everything we need, that, we're not dying because we don't have the things we need. So more than likely we're bored, right? And see, I learned to be, as a homeless person for 10 years, working on the streets, panhandling, and being grateful to have enough for a room, a meal, and a joint a day. I learned to be really, 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 really grateful for what I have. And at this point in time, whereas I was grateful even on the streets, every little blessing I got, I blessed somebody because of it, through the power that God gave to me. And I was always so grateful. And everybody I've ever met on the streets they're always grateful. I pass out money now when I have it. I bless others if I can. I don't always have it, but sometimes I lend a helping hand. So if you ever have an opportunity to help somebody, reach out, because God always, every time you make somebody smile, that's a good Dharma point. That's God saying, look at that child of mine. You don't even know how good it makes God feel, because in the face of adversity, which the God of this world, or the spirit or demon that runs this world, loves it. And for each and every one of us who stand up in the face of that adversity, God blesses us with extra power for our effort. Always. Always. Ooh, that was a deep dive, wasn't it? We dove way down there. Yeah, God will always bless you for the beauty and the effort that you give your life. A carrot. I never saw this. A carrot. Oh, helps you to see better. See it for your own eyes. Yeah. I look like a gypsy. Oh, you're a shooting star, Divine Feminine. You're a shooting star. We all are, and you know it. You know it. We got the power. Yeah. We're not acting on it yet, but we're growing. We're learning to live with our masks and without our masks, right? And it's all about love, because when you love yourself and treat yourself good, you can't do anything but love others and treat them good. It's just the way it is. It just works out naturally like that. You know, you cannot truly have a deep love for self and then turn around and be like, it don't happen. It never happens. Do I get upset sometimes? Oh, yeah, I get upset. I get upset. And do I speak my voice? Well, it takes me a little bit of thinking before I say anything because I don't like to say things that hurt people. But if I decide that I need to throw a shocker out there in order to get them back down to earth and thinking logically, oh yeah, I'm not past that point. I am very much in touch with my dark feminine, and I know how to stand my ground, and I know how to get other people to back up off me. Because if I hadn't known that, I wouldn't be able to be as nice as I am now, and that's protecting our heart, right? We must protect our hearts. And we must love ourselves first. And I'm going to go in here, go ahead and start shuffling the Gaia deck. And I'll tell you why. Because a lot of us have been jaded and hurt, and that's okay. We've had a lot of experiences in our life. We've all been in love. We've been out of love. And for those of us who have had these experiences or had them or might have them, a lot of us had given up our hearts to others, right? And forgot to love ourselves and just invested in others. And we kind of got lost by the wayside, forgotten about. Not everybody. Some of us have had good relationships, and some of us haven't. And I know that. But for those of us who haven't, this issue is about your heart and God wanting to make sure that your first love is God and you, so that if you do fall in love or have a love or want to fall in love again, then you are going to protect your investments of who you are and what you've created in your life and not give everything up for someone else and allow the things you love to fall away while you invest in the things that they love. And if, it can all be trusted. Is it destiny or fate? Fate comes when we don't make choices. Destiny comes when we choose the road we're heading, the destination that we're going to. Fate is where you end up at if you haven't made choices. So it's really important to look at the road ahead. I never knew this. Nobody ever told me this. I had to learn this the hard way. So it's good that you look at the choices ahead of you and what does it look like down that road. And if you always make sure you love yourself and treat yourself first, you will always be able to love others with all your heart, but they won't be able to get the lock and key on your heart. Does that make sense? Because you and God will be your first love. And, and as well as it should be for them. They should love the Creator first, Creator, source of creation. And when you love Creator, source of creation, you love everything, including yourself. Right? Right. Learning to love oneself is such an important part of having a relationship. Two of Cups. Learning to love you, the best of you, and learning to love the worst of you is what love really is. And when we learn to love us, even though we make mistakes and even though sometimes we don't like what we do, when we love ourselves like that unconditionally, then that's how our love ends up being for others, unconditional. Yeah, it's simple. It's simple. You can only love the way you love. And if you love yourself first and learn to love yourself unconditionally, then you're going to love everybody else unconditionally. Does that mean you won't set up boundaries? Oh, you are going to set up boundaries if people disturbs the unconditional love that you feel for yourself, for God, for life, for humanity, for life, because I include all life in it. My flowers, the trees, the grass, fish, land animals, sea animals. For me, life, when I think about life, I see the whole galaxy in my mind. It's bigger. It grew bigger when I found God in me, when I found the good in me, when I found love in me, because God and love are one and the same. God is love. God is life. And so learning to love yourself brings about, because you love yourself unconditionally, right? I need a drink, guys. So you love yourself unconditionally. And the only way you can love others is the way you love yourself. It's really kind of simple. It really is. And that has been my message all along, is helping to come up with a way to get people to see how important it was to find the best parts of you and bless yourself and thank God for them. And then love the parts that you don't think are so great, but love them unconditionally. Love them, and they'll go away. They won't go away, they'll melt into your good parts. And you will always be light and dark, because those parts that you're ashamed of, as they heal, become stronger and resistant. And they are capable of holding back others who would intrude upon that love that you are. That love you give yourself, that love you give to God, and that love you give to others who are capable of receiving love. Okay. I love that God is here and helping me to be slow and to explain this. And this is totally encompassing love. And after this is when you're ready to share love with other that you can bring into your life. And you want to make sure that they love themselves too. And you will always know the signs of someone who doesn't love themselves. But if they do love themselves and you love yourself, if they're true to their self, they'll be true to you. Correct? Yes, if they're true to themselves, they will be true to you. X. XOXO. What does that mean? X. Kisses from Mother Earth. Is that right? That's the Ten of Pentacles. If they can be true to themselves, they can be true to you. And you get a Ten of Pentacles, which is what? The best they say you can get while you're on this planet. I love you guys. I grew up a lot over this last month with real separation, with him completely moved out of the house, not just my bedroom. I've learned a lot. I learned a lot about true love, and I realized that, I finally made him leave, and that was because I had truly and finally truly fell in love with my life, myself, my peace, my goals, things that I wanted to accomplish. And I plan on, whether I have a husband or not, I still have a family. And I will have a Ten of Pentacles. And I also decided that I'm not going to let this broken-hearted fiasco, because I learned to love myself and realize that I will be able to handle another relationship when the time comes, and I will not be afraid of loving others because I might get hurt. Because now I know the signs. I'm more experienced than I was 45 years ago, 33 years ago, 29 years ago, I'm so much more experienced. And should have been then too, but I was just following in the footsteps that went before me, everybody else. And I understand that. But after this 3 year separation and me hermiting here in my bedroom and learning from Creator Source and tapping into Mother Earth, I come to the conclusion that there had to be ways for us to be happy after devastating circumstances when you put all your eggs in one basket and somebody slung that son of a bitch off the cliff. Excuse me. Sorry. Got a little emotional. But yeah, and I'm sure many of you know what I mean. Meanwhile, I need to tell you I love you, and I'm taking up a lot of time. So just continue forward in the love of yourself and understand that once you learn to love yourself really, really well, you, the bestest, you and God, walking in truth, side by side, inner and outer, upper and lower, the four directions, all elements, at peace with life, emotionally, gentle, fiery with both your feminine and masculine, and making steam, make things happen, creating things, working it out with your family and loving them with all your heart, your body, mind, and soul, and your emotions. And you get 2 trump cards now. This is a trump. This is a trump too. This is 11. This is Aquarius. And cups. Yeah. So we got fire, air, water here. And your emotions. Making sure that you don't take on emotional damage that causes sadness and bitterness and depression. Emotional damage is one of the most damaging things to your heart, and you want to make sure you mitigate any kind of emotional damage ever coming your way. And that's why you get emotionally invested in oneself and cover and carry the sword of truth to protect your waters of your heart, right? So when you carry the sword of truth, this is air, the sword, 11, 2 aces, basically, 2 ones, you have your heart covered. And not just your heart covered, but everything's covered because you're connected to God. God is love. And when you're connected to God, God protects you. God doesn't put a lot of laws on us because when you have love, you do the right thing. When you learn to love yourself in a way that you find happiness and joy, and you're able to hang out with yourself and it feels okay and good and peaceful, then you found that love. And after that, then, you're ready and capable of identifying any kind of deceitful, bad behaviors that are around you that throw up red flags. Because I didn't even know what a red flag was. Oh, I do now. I do now. I do now. So, and this gives us the opportunity to teach the male race how to behave around women and how to treat women, or what we will tolerate when it comes to treating us, that we're not animals, and even animals shouldn't be treated that way. So to say we're not animals is to say what? Animals are awesome. I love all animals. I ain't got... the other day I had to swat a fly. It about broke my heart, but I swatted him several times and even warned him 3. I'm going to kill you now if you land on me, I told him. And I did. And I didn't feel guilty because he'd been warned, brushed away, go play, blah, 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 I don't care. One fly, go away. But eventually we get tired and fed up with crap. And it's time for us to stand up. I'm not saying kill nobody. Okay, do not kill anyone ever. Do not never take a life. It's not really ours to take. You know, it's not. It's not. It's not our life. We can only take or give our life, and that's it. That's all we can do. We cannot cover anybody else's life with our life. We can't do that. We can't do that because everybody has to take their path. Okay, well, I've talked a long, long time. I hope you guys have mercy and love towards me. Leave me some comments. God bless y'all. Protect your hearts, protect your bodies, protect your minds, protect your souls, and keep it safe, keep it rocking and rolling and moving forward. And, appreciate yourself for the creature you are on this planet representing God, and whatever, in whatever shape, form, or fashion. If it's for the good of you and it brings good to you, then it brings good to all of us. And that's how we need to look at things. What's good for us is good for others. And if you can prove it's good for you, then you stand up and show it out and show it to others. That's what God tells me. I love y'all. Have a wonderful day. God bless. Please like, share, subscribe. Yay. I'll show the puppies this evening. Bye-bye.